Good day, friends. This is Tracy Brown, and my team and I of non-diet dietitians provide non-diet, trauma-informed nutrition counseling so that you can feel safer in your own skin. And this video is I guess this is like week 3 of a 7-week series. It's kind of long, but hopefully we're digging deep here, y'all, on if we were to look at the ways in which we use food and weight concerns to connect with each other and ourselves. What are the ways in which this is being manifest in our lives? So in the last 2 weeks, we've talked about eating issues and body image issues as an attachment strategy, basically how we connect. Last week, we talked about just relationship in general and having that's the relationship. That's all we have. And this week we're going to talk about a little bit deeper the function. Like, why do we do this? Why are we using food and body as a proxy to even have conversations with each other? Aren't there way more interesting things to think about, to talk about than what you ate for lunch? I mean, not that I don't love having lunch with someone, like, oh my goodness, like, what are you eating? Like, did they make that with, what kind of sauce is that? That's fun, that's interesting, but it's not about the components of it meaning some emotional thing other than this tastes good or it doesn't taste good, essentially. So where did we get that as a way to function? And, I can answer that maybe, and maybe you know it in your own individual family system, slash, peer system, slash, workplace, wherever you are as well, is that what happens is food and body image concerns take on a function. It's like a social lubricant. It's like, I don't really know how to discuss with you how I feel about things, or how to break the ice, or I don't know how to connect. Just don't know how to do it. So we do the kind of the socially programmed thing to do, which is when you walk in a room and you see what someone looks like, we knee-jerk sometimes make comments about that. And probably everybody here who watches my channel regularly knows that, even to me this day, and 25 years plus later, I've learned how to be like with my window of tolerance and pretty calm, and definitely not taking any offense to when somebody says something about my appearance. First off, I know that they probably don't know better, and they don't know that that's probably about the last thing that I want to talk about. It's just not interesting to me. I want to actually know about people and how they're doing and their hearts. I can do small talk, but my preference really is to like, how are you? And when people don't know how to really mean it, when they say, how are you doing? We tend to do superficial stuff like, oh, and again, there's nothing wrong with saying you cut your hair. How do you like it? That's the way I would preface it versus like, oh, I love your hair. Again, for some people, that might be welcome, but for a lot of us, it's like, yeah, I cut it, and I just quickly change the subject because it's like, it's cool, I like it, but that's not all there is to talk about in the world and in life and between two people. So, got a poll here, and I want to ask you all, like, when you're trying to shift how you interact with people, if the function of how you interact with people, you're moving away from that programming that says, like, when you first see somebody or you haven't seen somebody in a while, or maybe just in general, if you're not making food and body comments and you're not happily receiving food and body comments anymore and hoping for someone to notice, how are we going to function in relationship? How do we learn how to express our emotions, our thoughts? How do you want this to go? And start putting in the comments below. Look, how would you want people to interact with you if the way we connect anymore isn't over food and body? Again, there's nothing wrong with like, oh, I like your sweater. Oh, there's nothing wrong with noticing that someone's looking different. We notice things. But the value judgments and the mind control program, like when you first meet somebody and if you see that their body's changed, if you can't help yourself from like making a comment about their body, you might want to start to reel that back in and just take it as it's an observation. It doesn't necessarily mean anything about them, especially we don't know anything about why their body's changed. And so I'd love for you to all put in the comments below, how do you want people to interact with you? How would you love for them to engage with you? in terms of having other things to talk about besides food and body. So I look forward to seeing your comments, and we'll kind of pick this up on the next video this week and go a little deeper with those, and but be really clear about like, well, how come I want this? Oh, it makes me feel like they really see and hear me. Oh, it makes me know that they really care about my circumstance. Oh, it makes me feel like I like who I am inherently is welcome. That's what I'm hungry for. Put those kind of comments below, and then we're going to work on the next video here. Like, well, how do we start to elicit that? There's a hint here. We start to do it, and it teaches other people. But we'll talk more about some specific examples on our next video. So thank you so much for these like little mini kind of we'll call these the next step sessions. How do we work with this information that we don't want to use food and body image as a way to regulate our nervous systems? We don't want to use it as a way to have connection with people. So what else do we do? So we're trying to answer those questions in this series. So thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.